Year the Villain, Hell Arisen issue 1, James Tynion the Fourth, and Steve Epting. Notably, on Comixology, this is actually called Justice League Hell Arisen issue 1, and I don't know why, but like everywhere else is calling it Year the Villain Hell Arisen issue 1, but just for the record.
Yeah. Just on the art from the start, Nick Filati is the colorist on this. I'm pretty sure this isn't Epting's usual colorist, right?
I don't think so.
It feels different.
Yeah, because when I forgot it was Epting, and then I went back, I was like, oh yeah, it is him. But yeah, it feels a little bit off.
I think it's because it's so bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it starts off with being a year ago, and the Batman Who Laughs tries to infiltrate LexCorp R&D, and Lex is there, and this starts off as hints at their conflict to come.
Yeah, this is kind of lined up with the early Justice League stuff, actually.
Yep. And so, basically he says that the Batman Who Laughs is just like, you're not going to kill me. You're too smart for that. I came here because you came here because I wanted to see how much you already knew. So he's kind of hinting at that Lex is already going to be, the stuff with the totality and all of that. But,
yeah, and we get Earth 3 here. This is kind of what we're referring to earlier, where we see Ultraman, making a speech. You go back to the crime syndicate, and they're aware that Perpetua is incoming, and because of who they are, they're like, well, we want to cozy up to her, and
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that she is the queen of the multiverse and the harbinger of doom. She ain't the Batman Who Laughs, though. Like, she comes to Earth 3 and sees how messed up it is. I don't think she's going to see that it's because of Doom, right? Because Doom still has this self-preservation kind of behind it. It's not necessarily evil.
You might be right, and I think that might be the crime syndicate not understanding that.
Exactly. And so that's what I like. So they're doing all these big acts of destruction. Like Ultraman's like, yeah, I'm trying to, and this is another thing that cracked me up. Him trying to kill as many people as possible by aiming for large buildings at the bottom and seeing how much destruction he can get. Because that's something that Ultraman does and not Superman. Takes out large buildings without a care.
Yeah, he wants to rack up some kills for points. He wants points from the big evil overlord.
And Owlman has dropped a psychoactive into the Gotham reservoir that's making the people of Gotham, go crazy. It's like a rage virus kind of deal.
The murder rate's up 1,000% or something like that.
Yep. And
so yeah, basically they make a deal, and she sends them back to their Earth to sort of prepare for me and whatever she says. But Lex is given an army of Apex drones, predators, whatever they're called. I don't know.
Predators.
Yeah. And he's back to Earth Zero. He's back to the regular Earth. And of course, Batman Who Laughs has got Rip Hunter captured.
Yeah, this has got some really interesting stuff given what we learn in Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
Yes.
Rip Hunter, they talk about that. What Perpetua's done has broken hyper time.
Yep. And hyper time is this concept where if you want to explain how things happen in continuity, how the, Superman can be around for so long, but still, have aspects from the 70s, 80s, 90s. And it's because of hyper time, and that was a key to the whole 0 hour stuff in the 90s.
Yeah.
With Parallax and Monarch and all of that type of stuff. So the fact that it's broken now means like this is it. This is the point in time that basically it's the perfect time to attack.
Yeah, and just to go back to what Doomsday Clock was teasing, because I think it's relevant here.
Yeah,
is it talks about there's the crisis that fixes time, the way time works in the DC universe essentially, and if that's maybe fixing hyper time or replacing it, I can see that being the outcome of this upcoming crisis. And I say upcoming, the Monitor tells us, the crisis already started in this issue. It's already begun, and we just haven't realized it.
Yeah, we're at crisis level. So Lex goes to his goes to the museum or whatever, and he basically gets intel on like what the Secret Six is, and he's looking at them, and they of course show up and attack him, and he takes them on, kind of. He's like, and this is kind of where he drops. I took on the Justice League, blah blah blah. He's really there to kind of rub that in. Batman Who Laughs shows up on the screens and kind of, lays down a bit of a gauntlet. And I have to admit, I did kind of like the final line of this book.
Batman wins.
Yes, because he says, and spoilers, and you turn page, Batman wins. So the Secret Six are sort of standing in front of Lex to take him on.
I kind of love the idea of the evil Batman here co-opting in, because Batman.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of
I
works.
still don't like it, and I'm rooting for Lex.
Of course you're looking for. So I hate that this is still Apex Lex. This like I think this is better written than the recent issues of Justice League. I think it flows quite well. But I have to admit, this mini for me is mostly about let's get rid of all this stuff and end it all.
The mini itself, I'm not that excited by because I know it's just this is part of the road to crisis of whatever Time Master, Road to Time Master. That's what this is. And I think in a couple of years we will have that kind of be an official designation.
Yeah, because Rip says here that time's not set anymore.
Yeah,
and that plays into Doomsday Clock. So
yeah, well, I mean, they've already announced there's a mystery free comic book day issue that there always is. So that presumably is going to set up the summer event, which will likely be this crisis.
This is going to finish in This is 4 issues.
Yeah, it's March.
Right? So this is going to finish in March.
Yeah, because we got that
solicit usually May.
Early May.
May first Saturday May.
Yeah, so probably I'm going to see the crisis start in June or July and finishing by the end of the year, maybe.
Yeah, I think June. Hell, it could even be the end of May. Like it could be like, here's your preview thing at start of May.
I think it really depends on how they want to announce this, because obviously with the way the solicits work, depends how close they want to leave it till that free comic book day to announce stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is just fine. I think it's solid enough. It's weird that it's playing with, Batman Who Laughs, I think, is a fine concept, but he's been overused. And then Apex Lex I flat out dislike. But bizarrely, it's fairly well written, and everything it's building to
kind of works when
fun.
You throw them together against each other, doesn't it?
Oddly. It's one of these things where I'm not super excited about any of the concepts in the book itself.
But it's pretty enjoyable to read.
But I'm excited that we're finally just ending this year of the villain crap, and we can move on from it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part of all this.
Yeah, I'm glad to end Year of the Villain.
Yes, I stand by it. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. I was expecting more Dark Multiverse stuff, but it does seem to be teasing that for soon.
I'm sure we'll get to it.
Because Perpetua brings up the Dark Multiverses in this and says, "Hey, we need to deal with this or whatever."
Yeah, even she doesn't like the Dark Multiverse because she's like, it's a corruption of my multiverse and it should not exist. And yeah. So, I mean, we could see the Anti-Monitor has become the World Forger.
Yeah,
right? That's scary.
We're going to get to a point where we're going to form some sort of like Dark Justice League made up of all these Dark Multiverse rejects to take on Perpetua.
This is where the Dark Multiverse one shots are going to come into play.
Yeah, so...
Tempest Fujinot is going to go collect some of those.
Yep, there you go. That's You're the Villain, Hell Arisen issue 1. We'll see how that plays out. Matt, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give this a 7.5.
Connor?
Yeah, 7.5 as well. It's pretty enjoyable.
I will give it a straight 7.